Now, the only locally produced farm radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henney and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. Jonathan Dent filling in for Terry today. Hope your day is going well for you wherever you might be. Terry is out and about on this fine Tuesday morning. He'll be back with us tomorrow. In the meantime, we'll keep on keeping on. Got a nice day shaping up for today. A little bit warmer than yesterday, but I think nicer than yesterday. It was almost too cool. What we had yesterday, the sun helping us out a little bit after those clouds kept us pretty cool. After the hot start to the summer, though, I did appreciate that high of 73 out at the airport, and that came pretty late in the day. That was around 7 p.m. That's when the clouds started to really thin out, give us some more clear skies for the overnight hours. Temperature out at the airport officially dropped to 59 for a low early this morning, so maybe almost a little brisk here this morning after the warmer nights we've been having. We are warming up here today, looking at low 80s for a high right now on the thermometer. Matthew, what do we got?
Currently, over at the airport, it's partly sunny at 73. Over in Midland, it's partly sunny at 74. Here, Radio Center, it's partly sunny at 75. Our humidity is at 63%. And for our winds, it's west to southwest winds at 2 miles per hour, gusting up to 7 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 30.09, and it's falling.
Yeah, we do expect to see a little bit more shifting in that wind. Not too much of a breeze, really, to speak of as the clouds continue to thin out here today. What we do have, southeasterly winds shifting to be more southwesterly. Should shape up to be a nice day, a high of 82 expected here this afternoon, but as we get into the evening, we'll see a bit more cloud cover, maybe a few showers as we get on into tomorrow morning, a low of 67 overnight. The main driver for our weather over the next couple days is a low pressure system that's moving across Lake Michigan, bringing up those southerly winds, and it'll also bring some precipitation as we get into the day tomorrow. There's a good chance to see some showers, possibly a few thunderstorms. Those could bring some localized heavy rainfall and gusty winds. And that's mostly here in the Great Lakes Bay region. We're kind of on the northern edge of what's supposed to be coming through with that system, but it's across much of the southern lower peninsula. A high of 81 for tomorrow, so just about what we're looking at today, maybe a little bit more humid with that rainfall. That system should move across pretty quickly for your day on Wednesday. Might see a little more activity slowing down, getting into the overnight hours tomorrow night. We do get down to a low of 64 degrees. Then it's shaping up to be a very nice Thursday, mostly sunny skies, a high of 81, pretty similar kind of to what we're seeing here today when it comes to what we're expecting on Thursday. That low moving further east, we get a weak northerly wind during the day on Thursday. A few clouds hanging around overnight as we get down to 63 for a low. Then relatively clear skies on Friday, getting us up towards that 90-degree mark, maybe not quite hitting it, at least in the upper 80s for a high before another round of precipitation to start out our weekend. Some clouds moving in Friday night, a low of around 70 before showers and thunderstorms throughout the day on Saturday, a high of 88. And that rain continues into the day on Sunday, but it is expected to clear up by the time we get into Sunday night a little bit and on into the work week next week. I know it's only Tuesday. It's a little early yet to be talking about next Monday's weather, but good to keep an eye out. Next couple of days, really what we're looking at, that low pressure system we see moving in across from the west. It's currently sitting over Wisconsin. It'll be moving across Lake Michigan. Today's high of 82 under mostly sunny skies. Then that low pressure system drags some cloud cover across overnight tonight, a low of 67. Tomorrow is when we start to see the shower and thunderstorms really picking up throughout the day. Our long-range outlook takes us through July 21st. We're looking at near normal precipitation and above average temperatures. We started out with above average temperatures. Nice to get a little reprieve here in the early July, and we expect to see some temperatures jumping up once again. Our average high for this date, July 8th is 82 degrees, our average low, 61. Our record high, we talk about that 1930s decade when we're talking about record highs often. 107 degrees on July 8th, 1936. I don't think we've come very close to it since 1936, but 107, it was a scorcher. Our record low set in 1954 of 45 degrees. Sun will set this evening at 9:19, rise tomorrow morning at 6:04. We'll have more on that weather as we move on through the broadcast today. We'll be taking a look at the markets coming up. I'm seeing quite a bit of red on the board. Who are we talking to for our market report today, Matthew?
Coming up next, we have Abby Terwilliger from the Andersons, and we also have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
That's what's next. But first, the weather report today brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Hi, folks. This is Terry Henney. You know, if you've got an aging roof, don't even think about replacing it, at least not before you call my friend Ben at RoofMax. Now, RoofMax, it's a revolutionary treatment that restores flexibility and extends the life of your roof. And it saved me thousands of dollars and a big headache. You know, it's safe, it's quick, it comes with a 5-year transferable warranty, and you're working with some really reliable folks. I've seen it myself, and I trust it. Just like you maintain your equipment, your roof needs care too, and RoofMax delivers. Call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's 989-859-6751, or head on over to askbenhow.com. Schedule your free roof assessment just like I did. Remember, RoofMax, askbenhow.com, because a little care today can save you a whole lot more tomorrow.
For our Tuesday morning market report, we're going to head over to the Andersons. That's where we find Abby Terwilliger. Good morning, Abby.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, not too bad.
I'm
A
seeing
little better than what the markets are.
Yeah, I'm seeing a little bit of red, but they're not huge moves, at least the numbers that I'm looking at. What's going on?
Yeah, so actually I glanced at it 15 minutes ago when you called me, and soybeans were still green, and they've kind of dropped about 6 cents in the last 15 minutes, which isn't overly great. Here I thought I had something good to share. Anyway, yeah, so a lot of it's going in is, you know, we had the good to excellent report yesterday. Across the U.S., corn went up 1, beans and wheat stayed the same. Here in Michigan, corn dropped 1%, soybeans went up 5%, and wheat came down 3%. So there's a little bit kind of going off that, you know, conditions didn't get worse overall. And then also the weather's doing what it needs to do in the areas that it needs it. So it's not, you know, we're not having any droughts anywhere or any catastrophes that's, you know, really hurting the grain market itself. There was also, I mean, last week, at the end of last week, we had that rally coming up, but I think a lot of that was they thought President Trump was going to announce some trade deals either Thursday night or Friday, and that seemed to fail, or it didn't happen, I should say. He didn't speak on it very much. And then also the announcement of a 25% tariff on Japan and South Korea added some pressures. So just a combination of all the things, and along with wheat, you know, you're having the harvest pressure. We're starting to see harvest slowly start up here. And if we're starting up here, that means probably a lot of the southern states have pretty much wrapped up or close to wrapping up.
How's that wheat harvest looking so far as we're just getting started?
So far so good. I know I've done a couple tests. I actually have a mound of wheat that I went out and cut on my desk that I'm hand shelling right now, just to run some tests on, just to kind of get a good baseline of what we're seeing. There was some that I know was harvested south of Oakley Saturday and Sunday, and that was looking at 14.5–15% moisture. So there's definitely fields out there that are ready to go. So definitely go out there and take a look at them. I know the rain is kind of hit and miss this week, and I don't know. Rain always seems to be hit and miss. When it says it is, or doesn't. And when it's not supposed to, it does. So,
especially during harvest, right?
Oh yeah, like it's wheat harvest time. Oh, it's not gonna rain. 3 days of rain in a row.
Yep.
That something like that. They like to joke with us. So yeah, that's kind of where we are on that.
Right now on the board, what are we looking at?
So right now on the board in Hemlock, we got old crop corn at $3.96, new crop at $3.52, old crop beans at $9.75, new crop $9.55. Red wheat is at $4.68, and white wheat is at $5.08.
All right, Abby, thank you very much. We'll talk to you again next week.
All right, you have a good one.
You too. That's Abby Terwilliger with the Andersons. For a little bit more on the markets, we're going to head over to Oppenheimer, talk with Doug Klein. The market report today brought to you by Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth. If you ever wondered how the Farmall got its name, well, here's just a short list of some of the jobs the Case IH Farmall can do. That includes baling, cutting hay, feeding, hauling, loading, chopping, mowing, fertilizing, mixing feed, furrowing, cultivating, hitching, digging, emergency tow. I think you get the picture. Case IH Farmall tractors ranging from 35 to 140 horsepower. Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth knows that getting the job done starts with choosing the right Farmall. That's why they carry a wide range of Case IH Compact Farmall Series tractors, so you'll find the right fit for your operation. From the Value Pack Compact Farmall A Series to the Deluxe Compact Farmall C and C Series with cabs. So, whatever you're doing, Can Do comes in red, and that's Farmall. Head over to Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, where they're doing it right longer. Over to Oppenheimer we go. We say good morning to Doug Klein. Doug, how are we doing today?
Well, I'm doing good. How you doing?
Hey, we're doing pretty well. Staying nice and comfortable, at least for right now, with the temperatures.
It's good. It's good. Yep, I like that. Well, with the markets, we're seeing a little profit taking on gold and silver, right around 1% down. Platinum's holding up okay, 1.5% up. I'm seeing a lot of positive in the oil service arena, even though oil's only up about 38 cents. But I'm seeing about between 3 and 8% up on the oil service stocks just today. So that's a little bit exciting. I mean, there's some action around. The Dow is still down 0.25%. S&P's about 0, and Nasdaq's about 0 also. So here's your numbers. The September corn is 402, down 1.5 pennies. December corn 417 3/4, down 3. The August soybeans 1028 1/4, down 3 1/4. November soybeans 1020 3/4, unchanged. The September wheat is 549 1/4, up 3/4, and December wheat 570, down 1/4 penny. The crude oil is 66.83, up 34 cents. Heating oil is 244.38, up 2 1/4 cents. Gasoline is 218.67, up 3.5 cents. Natural gas is 339.8, that is down 3.8 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar, US dollar buys $1.3677 Canadian, that's down 5 ticks. The dollar buys 146.81 yen, that's up 79 ticks. The euro is at 117.08, that's up 1 tick. And the dollar's at 97.66, up 18 ticks. Gold's at $32.92.90, down $39.30. Silver's $36.28, that's down 33 cents. Platinum's $13.84.20, up 22.40, and copper's at $4.99.70, that's down 2.9 cents.
All right, Doug, thank you very much.
Okay, you bet.
We'll talk to you again. Doug Klein with Oppenheimer. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, I believe we'll be talking with Eric Sawatsky from Yo and Yo, giving us a little bit of insight about what Friday's new budget bill might be doing to our taxes.
If you're looking at Carhartt, if you're looking for Red Wing shoes and boots, what about Stormy Chrome or accessories? All available today at Ed Raymond & Sons. Quality clothing and shoes since 1919 at 151 West Broad Street in Chesaning. Open 7 days.
Hi, I'm Steve Cook from Cook Chevrolet in Vassar with two great offers. First, we've finally gotten full-size four-door Silverado payments starting back below $200 a month. Last month, we were excited just to get it down to $214, but right now, would you believe, just $195. Second, at Cook Chevrolet, you can still lease the new 2026 Chevy Equinox, including the electric Equinox EV, for as little as $204. You can be driving next year's Equinox right now, starting at an incredible $204 a month. Equinox is $204, Silverado's only $195. That's Cook Chevrolet M15 Top of the Hill in Vassar. We'll see you soon.
Payments based on GM employee and family lease. 10,000 miles per year, $2,000 cash down plus tax. Call or visit us on the web at cookchevysuperstore.com. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Farm Service Today brought to you by Freeland Bean and Grain. They're your Dairyland seed dealer carrying a full line of corn and Enlist soybean seeds, proven weed control designed to get you a better harvest. Good supply across all Dairyland varieties, including Vorseed and PowerCore Enlist traded corn hybrids. Contact Justin Varner for more information. Dairyland Seed, they've got seed with your name on it from your friends at Freeland Bean and Grain since 1983, where serving you is their business. We head over to Bay Landscaping and Garden Center now. We say good morning to Jerry Samolsky. Jerry, how we doing?
Wonderful.
Sounds like you're out and about today.
I am. You know, yesterday we were talking about time to put your grub control down, that season-long grub control. Well, that's a good thing to do, and now's the time. But more important is to make sure that you have a half-inch of water on after you've applied it. You need to activate it and get it into the soil. Otherwise, it may not be as effective. So if we don't get rain within 2 weeks that amounts to a half inch, then you might be forced to go out and irrigate. So that's a very important part of that. And if you put down that season-long grub control now, then you're going to end up having to not do an application in the spring. I know many people are very grub adverse, and they'll put it on now for the season, and then they think, well, I better put it on in the spring too, and then they put it on. You're just putting too much product in the environment you don't need, and you're spending more money and energy than you don't need. The critical thing is make sure you get a half inch of rain within 2 weeks of applying that product.
Glad you said that 2 weeks, because I was wondering what's the time frame on that. If you don't get that water in that 2 weeks, are you gonna need to reapply?
Well, what happens is the product becomes photodegradable, and the sunlight eats it up and makes it go away. So if you're not getting that rain, it's kind of just vaporizing and going away, and you're losing effective days. So within 2 weeks, if you don't get a half inch of rain, and I'd say probably a week and a half, then start watering it in, get it in.
Makes sense. Jerry, thank you very much. We'll talk to you again.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Jerry Samolsky with Bay Landscaping and Garden Center. We're going to head over to Yo and Yo Accounting now. We say good morning to Eric Sawatsky. Eric, how are we doing today? Oh, I think we lost Eric. We're going to take a quick break, try and get him back on the line. We'll be back after this.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Krizak's House Family Restaurant. If you've got to supply the food for an event coming up, and there's a lot of them I know, and you've got to supply the food, here's the number, 989-894-5531. You give them a call, tell them what you want. They'll prepare it, have it ready for you, take it back to your event, and you will be a hero at your event. Krizak's House, also a great place to dine in. Corner of Cass in Michigan on Bay City's south side.
Farmers, when the job calls for power and versatility, trust New Holland compact tractors. Built tough to handle everything from chores to field work. Easy to operate, rugged and reliable, they're ready to work as hard as you do. And when it comes to support, Ellen's Equipment has you covered with expert service and parts at all 3 locations, McBain, Beale City, and Ithaca. Stop by today and see how a New Holland compact tractor can make your farm run smoother. Ellen's Equipment, where hard work meets hard-working equipment.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, purchasing local soybeans, processing the local beans, and marketing local Exceller meal, which is a high bypass soybean meal for your dairy herd. They've been doing that since 1991. Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today.
I think now we've got Eric Sawatsky from Yo and Yo on the line. Eric, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, we're doing pretty well. So we talk about the big budget bill that went into effect on Friday, or it was signed into law Friday. What's that going to do for our taxes?
Yeah, there's a lot of changes, a lot of things that's the same. So I touch on a few things more on the personal income side today. I'm going to more detail in future calls, but a few things to really be aware of. One, a lot of the tax rates and tax brackets we've gotten used to over the past years are basically going to stay the same, and now they're considered permanent. So there is no setting anymore of the rate where we're at risk of back to prior law. So that's a very positive thing for people to kind of be able to plan ahead, understand approximately what kind of tax they'll be paying and where they fall, and do planning.
Jerry,
so that's
Eric, I'm going to interrupt you for just a sec because you're breaking up a little bit. I heard what you said. I just want to reiterate. So the tax brackets that were in effect have been made permanent with the new bill. So a little bit more stability on that front.
Yes, they're definitely, there's no sunsetting anymore, so those rates will stay the same forward. So we'll have very similar tax brackets with changes for inflation. So really the incomes will be able to rise a little more and still stay at similar tax rates. And then there are some additional things from an individual standpoint that changed. Child tax credit amounts are increasing. So before it was $2,000 per child, that's now up to $2,200 per child. And the amount that's refundable, so even if you don't owe any tax with your tax return, you still can get a child tax credit. That's increasing as well. And then a few new provisions in the bill, and they were things that you heard during the campaign this past year, but no tax on tips. That is now something that is part of the tax law that will go into effect. And there are limits to that. If your your tips exceeded $25,000 in a year, you would pay a tax on the amount over that. But otherwise, tips will be exempt for those who have less than $150,000 in income for the year. And then we're also looking at a new exclusion of tax on overtime. So any overtime pay that is received up to $12,500 per taxpayer will be exempted basically from income tax when you file your income tax. So a lot of those individuals that do receive overtime are going to get a nice break there. And then the final one I was going to highlight today is there is going to be a change in deductibility of auto loan interest. So in the past, that has not been deductible, but now if you have an auto loan for the years 25 through 28, so the next 4 years basically, you'll be able to deduct some of your interest when you take out an auto loan and pay that off. So that's kind of a new one that we haven't seen, and may be beneficial for some as well.
Good stuff. Well, Eric, I know there's a lot in that bill to dig through, so thank you for keeping us up to speed, and we look forward to hearing more about it.
That sounds great. Thank you.
All right, Eric Sawatsky with Yo and Yo. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, checking in with Baird & Company to see what's going on the New York markets.
Brought to you today by the folks at Michigan Truck Spring of Saginaw, your complete parts and service headquarters for light, medium, and heavy-duty trucks and trailers, as well as buses and recreational vehicles. Quality parts and service at very competitive prices for well over 45 years. 800-358-4751 or buy online at truckspring.com. And don't forget, they're open Monday through Friday till 11 p.m.
When it comes to strength, reliability, and performance, nothing beats a PowerLift hydraulic door. Built right here in Marlette, Michigan, our custom hydraulic doors are designed for your toughest jobs. Agriculture, aviation, commercial, and more. The price we give is an installed price, and you'll deal with one point of contact from start to finish. To schedule your PowerLift door consultation, call 989-635-8017 or visit PowerLiftDoorsMI.com. PowerLift Hydraulic Doors of Michigan. When you need it done right, we lift you above the rest.
We're back with you now. We head over to Baird & Company and say good morning to Teresa DeBow. Teresa, good morning.
Good morning, all. The Dow Jones Industrial Averages are currently up 62 points at 44,345, 403 million shares traded. NASDAQ up 11 points at 2424, 586 million shares traded there. Some stocks of local interest include Caterpillar at 393.65, up 215. Deere 513.31, up 302. CMS Energy 69.55, down 8. Dow 29.08, up $1.60. DuPont 75.13, up 215. Corteva 76.36, down 22. General Motors 52.35, up 53. Trinzio 304, up 14. Walmart 97.57, down $1.79. Huntington Bank 17.50, down 4. Independent Bank 34.35, up 42, and AT&T at 28.37, down 4.
Straight to business, Teresa. Thank you very much. Good information. You have a good one.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Teresa DeBow with Baird & Company. One last break, and we'll come back and close out.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Steiner Tractor Parts. New parts for old tractors made easy. So simple. All you have to do is call 800-234-3280 or go to steinertractor.com. Remember, they share your enthusiasm for your antique machine, and they know that you want to keep it running. That's why they take their job personally at Steiner Tractor Parts, because they understand your life and job both stop if your tractor stops running. Want to make that unit look really sharp this coming summer? Show it off a little bit at the shows? You can do that. Steiner Tractor. For more information, go to steinertractor.com.
I'm Steve Cook from Cook Chevrolet in Vassar with two great offers. First, we've finally gotten full-size four-door Silverado payments starting back below $200 a month. Last month, we were excited just to get it down to $214, but right now, would you believe, just $195. Second, at Cook Chevrolet, you can still lease the new 2026 Chevy Equinox, including the electric Equinox EV, for as little as $204. You can be driving next year's Equinox right now, starting at an incredible $204 a month. Equinox is $204, Silverado's only $195. That's Cook Chevrolet M15 Top of the Hill in Vassar. We'll see you soon.
Payments based on GM employee and family lease. 10,000 miles per year, 2,000 cash down plus tax. Call or visit us on the web at cookchevysuperstore.com. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Quick refresher on the weather for the next couple of days. That low pressure system we're tracking right now over Wisconsin will be moving in from the west. A high of 82 today under mostly sunny skies. Tonight, more clouds, a low of 67. Tomorrow is when we see some shower and thunderstorm activity throughout the day, and we're looking at a high of around 83 for tomorrow. We'll take a break. We'll be back at the bottom of the hour. Now we conclude with the playing of our national anthem.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by ZipRecruiter.
I'm Steve Kathan. Officials in Texas now put the death toll at 108 after the catastrophic flood.